my wish list. Which bag should I get?
Stadium here in Las Vegas. Coming out to see Titans and the Las Vegas Raiders. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will... 10. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
Well, Charles, you talk about this offense, and you think about the man in charge, their head coach, this marking his first ever playoff game as the head coach, and you wonder what's going through his mind right about now.
Coach of the Year votes. I thought he took the right tone in his weekly press conference, though. Played it cool, took the reserved angle, and when you don't have the track record, I think that's the exact right way to do it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Tannehill.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Tannehill. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Trayvon Mullen. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson.
And that makes it 7-zip Vegas.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They've been a come-from-behind team all year. They'll need to do it again as they trail early in this wild card game. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. From the gun, here's Tannehill. He's got the...
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A shotgun handoff to Henry. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37.
Divine Diablo there to make the stop.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Tannehill now to throw. And the Raiders have got it. Cleveland Farrell coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. There on the stop that time, Trevon Coley.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43.
Meanwhile, Carr's throw complete here to Waller.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football, all right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
Tackled by Christian Fulton.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Caught out left side by Robinson. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. A first carry now for Kofrani Muhammad. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Scampering home from 19 yards out. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? The turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. A handoff, running left, Henry. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Tannehill on 3rd down. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again to Henry. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Solid running there. And, CD, we hear so much about what it takes to win in the playoffs. Most people like to include having a strong running game in their assessment. And with this man in the backfield, this group has a strong running game without a doubt.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you there because in terms of yardage, he's a top 5 running back in the league. And in terms of impact on a game, not many better than him. And when they're flowing and he's carrying the ball consistently, they're tough to beat.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
That's complete to his tight end, Firkser. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there.
And a loose football. And the Raiders pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
Second and 7.
Jet sweep. Carr bats it forward. First down and more for Jackson. Deshaun Jackson off to the races. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Deshaun Jackson. 93 yards. And the Raiders continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
Batson not going to risk returning it, so they'll start at the 25.
Atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. From the 30 on second down, Tannehill. That's taken in by Firkser. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Trying to disrupt Julio Jones there, the intended target. A little too close, got the flag thrown.
I'm not sure anyone can cover Julio Jones one-on-one for very long without getting their share of pass interference calls. His size, his speed, his physicality makes it almost impossible to do.
He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Here's Tannehill.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked off by Carl Joseph.
And the Raiders are going to get the football here at their own 23.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Throwing on first down is Carr. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Rashaan Evans, the linebacker, recording the sack there.
That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction. And that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them. And now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
Carr's throw pulled in by Robinson here.
And he is finally out of bounds, but he gets all the way down right around the 20.
It's a big play there for Vegas.
Big plays always wind up being a big theme as we get rolling in these playoffs, and the defenses that can avoid giving them up, but they're the teams that tend to go far. You may not eliminate those big plays, but if you can limit them, then you've got a chance to get to the ultimate game.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Muhammad. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders are able to add on to their first half lead.
Well, it's not too often that you say, hey, this one's going to be over by halftime. And, CD, I know our bosses probably don't want us to say that because they don't want people clicking away. But this one might be over by halftime.
And since you've already put your job on the line by actually saying it, I will co-sign and go with you because you're my partner. We don't mean to do it, but this game has been exactly as you've described. I see no hope for them going forward.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
Cameron Batson now from his end zone. But ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say that great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember looking.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Yannick Ngakoue. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. So 3rd and long after the sack. Tough task for Tannehill and the Titans. He'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked by Trayvon Mullen. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
And, Charles, you know, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you're trying to force plays, right? You're trying to get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 3rd down, Muhammad, and he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it.
Now they'll throw with Carr. He's got a man. It's his fullback. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, they certainly spread the ball around so far, but they're definitely getting everyone involved now when you're throwing it to the fullback. Just shows how versatile this offense is and how everyone is a threat.
On play action, now Carr. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And it'll be Titan football. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. From the 29, Tannehill. He's going deep for Brown. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Titans. A.J. Brown, 71 yards. And the Titans are able to cut into that deficit.
Well, look, this is a team, Charles, they faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division, but they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game, a message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
And they're going to get the two-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs.
And Jacobs, I don't think is going to get there. No, it appears they're going to mark him short of the 1st.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Meanwhile, Tannehill's throw into the hands of Firkser here.
And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end.
And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Titans. Julio Jones, 54 yards. And the Titans are able to close the gap just a bit. So now Tannehill leading his crew to the line to go for 2. Tannehill looking to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that'll make it 3rd down. On the carry, it's Muhammad. And oh, he coughed it up. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home, the next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. That's taken on the 25. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and that will come the offense as they take over. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball that cut down that lead. Now the defense has done their part, got them the football back.
Momentum started to shift a little bit when they scored the touchdown. It increased when the defense got them the ball back. Momentum.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Carl Joseph. And the Raiders are going to get the football here at their own 23. So they took their shot. It was a pretty good heave, but in the end, the free safety is the one who comes away with the football.
And 2 of the traits that you look for in a good free safety, range and decision-making. Both on display right there, and it didn't hurt that he's got a good pair of hands, too.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Throwing to start the drive. Carr. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
3rd quarter, wild card round. Thanks for being along for the playoff ride with us. Here's 2nd and 10. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Carr now on 1st down. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB.
Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Jet sweep, Carr bats it forward. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the 1st. It's a pickup of 6.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a 1st down. A nice, consistent gain.
Meanwhile, Carr's throw pulled in by Renfrow. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
On second down, Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On third and short, Drake. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
6-18.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. They go with Jacobs. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Bringing him down defensively, Jayon Brown. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
The kick by Carlson is good, and that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And they are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Tannehill. Throw left side complete. That's Brown. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. And the busy night for Henry continues. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
52 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Here's Tannehill.
Gets this to Firkser, the tight end.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that. And
he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
So 3rd and long after the sack. Tough task for Tannehill and the Titans.
They'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Brandon Facyson.
And the Raiders are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
Disappointing way to close out the season. Got into the playoffs but couldn't really make any noise.
Still a good season. Some might call it a great season when they get away from it a little bit, but they also will all look at their own errors, their own mistakes, and wonder how they could have played a little bit better. So if they get in this position again, they'll be ready to win.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com.
Celebration time tonight on the Strip as we say so long from Las Vegas.